Hey, quick reminder everybody that our giveaway is going to run out soon. If you didn't get a chance to check it out yet, you can follow the link down below and get a chance at winning the game of your choice. All you need to do is to make sure you're subscribed to me and sign up on the website over there, and the winner will be both announced here on the channel and be contacted via email once the giveaway is over. Again, huge shout out to Instant Gaming for helping me set this up, and all of the links can be found in the description down below. Hey, what's up everybody, Crazy here, back into No Man's Sky with another big update that is currently available on the experimental branch. It actually contains quite a lot of very important changes, especially to starships and freighters, and if you played in the synthesis update, you probably already know that upgrading starships pretty much gives you the lowest stat possible for that category. So that was a bug it seems, and Hello Games came in with a fix in this update, which should go live really soon, but they also came in with a fix for the freighters not having enough tech slots for the new technologies that have been added in the 2.2 update. So we're going to jump right in it with all of these fixes and a ton more on top of that, because this is quite a big update. As always, if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up on it would be super appreciated, and let's get started with these changes. I'm going to start things off with the freighter first, and chances are that if you had a freighter before the synthesis update, it most probably came in with a maximum of 4 technology slots, and this was severely limiting your possibility of installing the new technology, such as for example the matter beam and the hyperdrive upgrades. So what Hello Games did is they increased that maximum to 6 slots. So now if you log in, even if you purchased your freighter in before the synthesis update, yeah, it's going to be upgraded to a maximum of 6 slots, like pretty much any other new freighter out there. So this should pretty much give you the possibility of installing the new tech as well, or at the very least install 2 additional technologies over there to make things a little bit more easy. So yeah, a definitely welcome change, though I think they should give us a possibility to actually fully upgrade these slots and yeah, kind of like do it in the way we do it with the other starships. Now, since we were on the subject of ships and upgrading them, as you may or may not know this, in the previous update, or well the current update, if you are to upgrade a ship from a low rank to the maximum rank, you're only going to get the minimum stats possible for that type of class. In this case, for the maximum S class, it's going to be 55% for the damage and 15 for the shields, even though the maximums are higher than that, about 60 for the damage and 22 for the shields. So it seems that Hello Games recognized that that was a bug and came in with this fix right here. They fixed the issue where upgraded starships always rolled the worst possible stat ranges for their class. The chosen stat is now going to be based on the unique seed for that ship, and I actually went in and did some testing with a C class that I had on a different playthrough, and normally in the current patch this would have given me like 55% in damage and 15 in shields if I were to fully upgrade it. Well, in the new update in the experimental branch, it gave me more than 58 and more than 21, which means that this can go all the way up to the maximum, just like any other ship you can find in the wild, and comes with the maximum rank. So this is honestly a very good change. I'm pretty sure that I saw all of you guys kind of complaining about this, so if you ever had a concern that your upgraded ship is not as good as a regular S class that you find out in the wild, well, this is going to all change in the new update, and you're not going to suffer from that problem anymore. But speaking of stats, the upper bounds for some starship stats have been increased on haulers, fighters and exploration starships, so that the exotic ships are no longer guaranteed to be the best at each specialization. So what this means is that you're basically going to see some stat increases for these 3 classes I was talking about, and I did go ahead and test this out. I was talking about the shields being 21 for that fighter that I upgraded, and previously the maximum was about 19. It never passed, or at the very least not for me, it never passed 20. In this case the shield, even in this example, was almost 22. So you're definitely going to see more stat changes for different classes, though I'm not entirely sure exactly what stats are affected for each individual ship. I'm pretty sure that each ship is going to see different stats being affected. For example, haulers might get an increase in, let's just say, shields, maybe fighters are going to get an increase in damage, and exploration maybe it's going to get an increase in hyperdrive range, though it remains to be seen. That's what I would normally expect. Finally, also in the Starship category, they added the ability to see Starship stats through the analysis visor, including the difference between core and upgraded stats. And in fact, once you go in and analyze a ship now, you're going to see a ton more information than ever before. You're both going to see the core stats as well as the upgraded stats. So what this means is that you're going to see what the ship is like at default, this being indicated by the core stats, and then the upgrades as well. For regular ships that you find in the wild, you're not going to see that many like upgrades or that much of a difference in upgrades because they don't tend to come with too many of them. But if you were to analyze your own ship, let's say one that is fully upgraded, you're going to see all of those stats differences over there, which kind of gives you an idea of how much they change from the core. And they should also let you better analyze and compare your ships, especially when you're comparing ships of the same class. Anyway, let's go over some other changes, and I've grouped these in several categories. First, I want to go over the multiplayer and griefing changes. One of them is the ability to edit terrain in a multiplayer game is now its own permission setting alongside the permission to edit a base. So you're going to see both of these options having distinct entries in the network menu. One of them is can add base parts and can delete base parts. Both of these are going to be different. And the last one can edit base terrain, which is into effect right now. If you go in and try to edit somebody's terrain or base, if they turn these in their menu off, you're going to see not possible to edit terrain or base or whatever part is that you're trying to edit. And along with this, they also added this change and they restored the friends only multiplayer permission setting, distinct from people in your group but not in your friends list. So now when you cycle in from no one, anyone, group and friends, you're also going to see that friends only in the option over there, so that you can only let friends to edit your bases or give other permissions over there for the multiplayer. So I believe that this is a rather good change that should prevent a lot more griefing than ever before. We also have a ton of changes to the bases. One of them is for unavailable options in the build menu, which are now grayed out rather than removed. And I did try to test this out, but I couldn't see any difference. I mean, any unavailable option that I didn't have yet didn't appear over there grayed out or anything. It just lagged altogether. So for me, at the very least, it was exactly like how it was on the live version of the game. We also have a couple of changes to the base wires. One of them is for the bug that was preventing base part deletion when having a wire placed on it. So now if you have a wire placed on a base part, you can also delete the base part without having to remove the wire first. So I guess that makes sense. But the second one is for the icon for the teleport cable, which up until now was using the same icon as the regular cables, and this was making things a little bit too confusing. So yeah, Hell Games came in with an update and they improved the icon for that, which now looks pretty much like this. It's a straight line, it looks exactly like how you would expect it to look like. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. Finally, they also fixed a rare crash in the build menu and they fixed a number of animation issues for the solar panel, which I am glad they finally did. For the multi-tool and terrain manipulator, we also have a number of changes here, including vertex cubes and submerged relics no longer being destroyed by the terrain manipulator, which was something that affected also the buried technology in the previous update, though that one got fixed, and now the vertex cubes and the submerged relics also got a fix as well. Interactive objects that have been used are now hidden on the compass in the analysis visor. And finally, we have a couple of fixes for the multiple multi-tools. One of them prevented players from using their secondary weapon if they only had one secondary weapon installed, and the other one was for the issue that allowed players to equip weapons in a number of circumstances where weapons were not allowed. So all of these have been applied as well. Finally, we have a number of miscellaneous fixes here that definitely change a little bit, but not too much the playstyle. One of them is for the galactic trade terminal now in the space station defaulting to buying rather than selling, and the other one for rust and other junk substances found in damaged planetary machines have been reduced. So now you should probably see a lower number of these, but I did go ahead and at least test it out with the rust metal, and I haven't noticed any difference. I'm still getting about 75 to 80 rust metal that I would normally get from the green boxes, and yeah, these are exactly the same in number as they always been. So I'm not sure if this went into effect yet or if this is something that Hell Games is planning to add later on, but yeah, I am not seeing the difference yet. Also, they made some changes to GTAO, so now they will not make planet to appear that dark as it was in the previous patch. You should start seeing things a little bit more light, and also they added the ultra setting on the PC version of the game for GTAO. I did test this out as well. It well, kind of causes a few issues here and there. At the very least, at the time of filming this video right here, yeah, these were causing a lot of issues with shadows and textures, and for some reason all of this was glitchy and jittery, and like, yeah, it was causing a ton of issues on my screen as well. But yeah, otherwise these are most of the big changes that are coming on the experimental branch. Of course, this should all go live next week on both the consoles as well as the PC version of the game. If you do want to go ahead and test this out, yeah, just go in your Steam account if you happen to have the game on Steam, and you can go in and opt in for the beta and play the experimental branch ahead of time. But I do recommend backing up your save game if you are planning to do any of this at any given time. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, let me know what other issues you have that haven't been yet addressed. Also, don't forget to subscribe and activate that notification button, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.